Professor Osanye, our guest speaker, Mrs. Laikoiki, Executive Director, Dr. Barney Wilson, Deputy Director of Education, Mrs. Ian Ekon, ETA Chair, and my colleagues present, principals and all teachers in the room, our very dear parents. It is a delight to celebrate with you as you graduate today after a very demanding diploma program that I'm certain has prepared you for the rigors of university and the project called life. When you resumed in September 2019, fresh from secondary school, I can imagine you did not quite grasp how different this experience was going to be compared to what you may have experienced prior to that point. However, I am excited as I recall how you quickly came to terms with the demands of the IBDE and you made up your mind to put in the necessary effort and push needed to navigate the program. You embraced the IB learner profile, and these have helped you develop in many different ways. And I dare say you are an immensely better version of yourself at this point. As inquirers, you embraced many new things and learned different skills along the way. Some of you may have learned how to play musical instruments, how to make some new crafts, and plant and harvest crops, among other skills. For the boys, indeed, I was a proud consumer of your juicy cucumber. I mean, it was just simply amazing. To be more knowledgeable, you exposed yourselves to research, you explored concepts in your various subjects with gusto, and you developed better questioning skills. As knowledgeable young people, you gave an amazing account of yourselves through your university applications, gaining a total scholarship of over $4.7 million. I think this class deserves a round of applause. You have grown as thinkers, and as you go on to tertiary education, you will be faced with many situations that will require you to think before you act, to demonstrate self-leadership. You have learned a lot over the past few months and weeks that you have been here, and we do hope that you will carry this on even as you go into the wild world. You should be able to make good choices because over these 2 years, you have seen the importance of your responsibility to yourself and to those that care for you. Through your past program, you showed care and empathy to others. Despite the peculiarities of the times, you were able to stretch yourselves in order to reach out to several mothers and mothers-to-be through the projects that you embarked on. Well done for serving in law. May I please ask that we put our hands together for these young people? I urge you to continue to live out our school motto through altruistic acts, endeavoring to seek ways to make things better for other people as much as it lies within your power. Remember that with privilege comes responsibility. Do not abuse your privilege. As principled young people, you must act with integrity and honesty always. Continue to develop a strong sense of fairness, justice, and respect for the dignity of the individual, groups, and communities. Part of the discipline you have imbibed from the IBDE is to take responsibility for your own actions and the consequences that accompany them. This understanding should guide you in your future endeavors. Nelson Mandela said, and I quote, "It always seems impossible until it is done." I want to remind you that the world is your oyster. There are many things yet to be discovered. Do not limit yourself. Continue to work hard and push yourself because each one of you has something to offer, and we are eager to celebrate your future achievements. We look forward to hear great things about you. To our proud parents, the parents of the graduating students, I thank you for your trust in and partnership with Green Springs School. It has been an immense pleasure serving and working with you over these past 2 years. We are assured that the work that has gone into this period of the diploma program will yield fruits that you all will be proud of in the coming years. To all members of staff who worked with and supported these future change makers, thank you for the selflessness, commitment, and hard work that has brought us to this point. Back to you, class of 2021. I am extremely proud of the resilience and spirit you have shown over this period, and I'm assured that you are ready to take on the world. I know there were times you wondered why it had to be so hard, and if you were going to pull through. But here you are today, proud graduates. I celebrate each one of you. May God guide and be with you moment by moment. May He cause His face to shine upon you always. Congratulations, class of 2021. Super proud of how far you have come.
At this time, we will be awarding prizes for outstanding performance in the various subjects. In English, high level, psychology, and theory of knowledge, Aderisola Olua, Awomola. Best in business management and mathematics application and interpretation essay, Oluwatoyin Lawrence. Best in French standard level, economics and biology, Chimerika Anike. Best in Spanish, Musobe Bakari. Please take note, best in chemistry, higher level, and mathematics, analysis and approach, higher level, Ugochukwu Egboko. Best in physics, high level, and computer science, Adelemoni Michael. English standard level, French Abinufio, ITGS, Chemistry SL, Faith Una, and she's not with us here today. Mathematics, analysis, and approach, standard level, Neka Apollo. Best in history, Chifu teaching a group of Okoro. Best behaved, Oluwatoyin Lawrence. And Libo, Tina Yoshiri Gomoyo.
This poem is a love letter to time. As you see, graduation can be bittersweet. Our past is moving away from us while our future is calling. The title of my poem is, Where Are We Going? My dearest, before dawn breaks, before the sun begins to settle, before you take yet another step away, consider this a plea. I pen these words down, the thoughts of my heart, and you pace in one direction, continuously moving, not a breath to linger, abandoning memories to replace them with new ones. My ego violently procuring your lives, caressing age and growth, dragging me towards maturity. My love, why are you changing? Time flies, as you also was. No one ever asks you where you're going. Where are you going? Your wings carry destiny's leaves with gusts of winds of uncertainty and deliberation. The rustling and whispers reminding me of the waves of decisions, of choices. Can I be heavier? Perhaps as heavy as an anchor, too heavy to be thrown forward into the unknown. My dearest, catch your waves reverse. Take my ship and anchor back to events remembered. Sail us away into security and youthful joy, away from troubles and worry, and yet, my love, would you say this fixation on your metamorphosis, the admiration of this journey we're on exposes my longing to follow? A hidden yearning to move on, a secret desire of the future to come, a bird migrating in the summer, a ticket to explore the curiosities of winter. Who knows? Maybe winter would be as warm as summer. Maybe my future holds what the past cannot give me. And so, my dearest, where are we going? Here's to the feeling that the party is over. Here's to the feeling of a new chapter. Here's to friends. Here's to family. And here is to wherever time may take us. Thank you.
Thank you, and you're welcome back.
Deputy Director of Green Spring School, Dr. Vanny Wilson, Deputy Director of Education, Mrs. Faye Ojugo, Head of School Lekki Campus, parents, teachers, guest speaker, and my fellow graduates. There are so many words that come to mind when I think of how to describe my IB experience. But if I had to pick just one, it would be supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Why? Well, because just like the International Baccalaureate, it's long, confusing, and hard to spell. It's no secret that this IB experience has been a roller coaster. It's been hard, exhausting, and stressful, but also, in many ways, exciting, amusing, and life-changing. And I'm sure that we're all ready to see it finally come to a good end. Our year especially has been difficult. Online schooling came without notice and challenged us to rediscover our potential. We went from showing up in classes every day, to having to log into classes, to barely even having the motivation to open our laptops. And if we did, we would do it from the corner of our laptop, corner of our beds, dreading the constant need to turn on our cameras and unmute our mics. We resumed in person, and all the work we hadn't done came to catch up. Teachers were recording lessons from online we could barely remember, and a new normal had set in. A simple sneeze would attract questioning looks and gentle movements away in fear of COVID. We suddenly had a lot of work to do, and it was evident because we went from spending so much time outside after dinner on what Ms. Okoye would call the streets of life, just playing and having fun, to sleeping even past dinner and not leaving hostel unless it was time for school. Everything was suddenly just so different. I remember when I was first coming to IB, my parents sat me down to give me the occasional speech about moving on to the next step in life. But this time, as the speech reached its conclusion, my dad said something different. He said that in order to be successful, you have to have a good head, a good heart, and a good stomach. Now let me explain, because I wasn't exactly sure what he meant at the time. In fact, when I first heard the word good stomach, I was convinced it was just a nice way of telling me that I needed to eat more. But no, it meant having the guts to follow your guts and being able to withstand the scorch of disappointment. And these are words I unconsciously carried with me throughout my stay in IB. A good head. Of course, a good head means intellect. It means being able to embody knowledge, being able to think and assess critically. But it doesn't only stem from the ability to download a textbook mentally. It also refers to what we learn outside the classroom or within it that we wouldn't find in textbooks. For example, for my French classes, I've learned the importance of always having an attack plan. Now in French, it means knowing the kind of text you like to write and preparing for it. But in life, it means knowing what path you want to take and what goals you want to achieve and working towards them. But finally, a good head means a good mindset. The way we enter an experience determines how we will emerge. Coming into this program, I was an optimistic pessimist. I have older siblings that went through Ivy, so of course, I knew it wasn't going to be easy. From their stories, I believed that the workload would be suffocating. There would be a program that pushes me to go beyond what I thought were my limits. That would be challenging and time-consuming, and it was. This mindset allowed me to imagine the worst and mentally prepared me to tackle it when it came and remain smiling through the stress. You see, I was prepared for the worst, but I also stayed hoping that after everything, regardless of all the challenges, I will emerge victorious. And I did. We did. A good heart. A good heart deals with the way you approach other people. The way you do things and your ability to stick to something wholeheartedly. It's your personality and the ways in which you look out for other people. And this has been reflected in the countless laughs we've had in hostel. I really cannot count the amount of times that I've laughed so hard it brought me to tears. But I especially love the way we all looked out for one another. It wasn't your usual cakey set, but we're all 1 minute, and if one person was failing in one aspect, everyone else would be there to raise them up. I remember especially the times in IB1, when everyone would be stressed out about a test or a particular 1,500 word assignment. And then someone else would come and start playing music, and we would drown our sorrows with singing, dancing, and laughing. However, this was mostly quickly put to an end by the familiar shout of IB girls, to which we would quickly scamper and retire to our rooms. But by that time, the sorrowful expressions and fatigued eyes would have turned to smiles and exhausted laughs. A good stomach. Now, like I said before, this means having the guts to follow your guts and being able to stomach changes and hard times in life, because they will surely come. Do what you want because it makes you genuinely happy, and not because you're chasing a utopian feeling of joy. Because if you do something just because the world has cast it as something that brings happiness, then when it's all over, what happens? You're happy for those first few seconds when you feel great for having achieved it. But what happens in the next second when the glory and praises are over? Do you really feel self-fulfilled? Are you really happy? So going into the world, we must have the courage to pursue what we desire rather than what the world expects of us. Because if you try to meet the world's expectations, you will always fail. About being able to stomach hard times, it's a constant. Change will always happen, and that change can be negative or positive. But what makes you strong is your ability to stomach these things and keep moving on. Your ability to digest these bad things that come into our lives and move on stronger, learning from it rather than dwelling on it, and remain undeterred and resolute. Now, in concluding this speech, I want to firstly give thanks to the specific teachers that have shaped my life in one way or another, to the set of 2021, and most especially to my parents, for constantly believing in me more than I believed in myself. Secondly, I want to recognize how far we've come as a set. Through pandemics and assessments, we made it this far. We've all put in so much effort and pushed ourselves further than we ever thought possible. We've all put in so much effort and pushed ourselves further than we ever thought possible. And although I stand here as a valedictorian today, we have all shown the best of ourselves in different ways. In sharing tears together and spending sleepless nights together, we have formed a bond that I hope we will carry for years to come. We have all played a part in shaping one another's lives, and I can say for a fact that we are not the same people we were when we came into this program. I mean, before I came here, I thought I wanted to study international business. And while business is still a subject I enjoyed a lot here, because of great teachers like Mr. Ayodele, who showed me how fun and interesting economics could be, I now know that that's something I would prefer to spend the next 4 years of my life studying. Before I came here, the thought of addressing an audience like this would have crippled me with fear. And while I still feel the butterflies, at least I'm doing it. You see, one way or another, our lives have changed, and they will continue to change as we move on with life. And we might think that we need to have or be so many things to accommodate these changes. But really, all we need is a good head, a good heart, and a good stomach. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Next.
You all have done well. The awards, I'm so happy. I want you to first of all say thank you very much to your teachers. Say thank you, my teachers. No, are you having a problem? So you are not happy they talk to you. I want it to be loud. Thank you, management of Green Spring School. Go ahead. Then finally, no, not finally. Thank you, my parents, for your self-denials and sacrifices. Say it again. Thank you, my parents, for your self-denials and sacrifices. And thank you, my fellow graduates, for helping me to become the best I have become. No, I thought you would be looking at each other to say that. Or are you saying they didn't help you become a better person? In love, complete it for me. In love, it has very deep meaning. Very deep meaning. It means, number one, you have to have high dose of tolerance. You have to have high dose of compassion. And you have to have high dose of sharing with others. I'm so happy that some of you have already gotten admissions and also gotten scholarships, which is unprecedented, which is unusual, which is very beautiful. Can you clap for yourself for that? I also want to let you know that you are being celebrated because of your success. You know, success has many relations. The failure is an orphan. We won't be gathered here if you didn't do well. And it's because you did well. That is why we are all so proud. And please, I'm appealing to you to think and think deeply about the challenges you are going to face. The first thing I need to give you is that you should always exude self-confidence. Exude self-confidence, please. And I always tell people, nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. Nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. It's the way you carry yourself. If you don't carry yourself well, people will talk down on you. If you don't carry yourself well, people will look down on you. If you don't carry yourself well, people will mess you up. But if you carry yourself well, you will command respect, People will seek your opinion. People will want to know you better. And people will want to tap from your knowledge. I'm seeing very beautiful and intelligent young men and women. And these young men and women are young men and women that will make exploits. You're going to make exploits. The opportunity you have enjoyed in the last 2 years in this school, no matter the amount of fees your parents pay, it cannot be quantified in monetary terms. What you gain is far more than what your parents paid for. Your parents paid basically school fees, which is for the curriculum. But there's the core curriculum, which you have gained, which is what is going to sustain you, which is what is going to help you. And please, when you leave, don't forget the school. It all started here. Wherever you are, once you remember the motto of the school, I'm sure you will feel nostalgic. And wherever you are, whatever you are doing, remember the foundation was laid here, it started here, and they are always ready, willing. You saw the people that left 2020 congratulating you. When you watched that video, how did you feel? You don't need to answer because I was watching some of you. You know what it will be like next year? You will be shown. But if you don't sustain this tempo, if you don't sustain what you have started, what the school has helped you to imbibe, what they've inculcated in you, those long-lasting values, you won't be able to talk. You won't be proud to talk. Success is not only emanating from hard work. Hard work goes with attitude. You can only achieve success if you have the right attitude. You have to change your attitude to think positively, no matter how bad the situation may be. We say it's making the best of a bad situation, no matter what you face. Because whether you like it or not, you are going to face some challenges. Those are realities of life. And many of you are going to study out of the country. And you will not have the opportunity of seeing your parents on a daily basis or on a monthly basis. You will see them. You will do video chats. You will do everything, but it's not the same. So you have to start from this moment. Today is different. Today is the celebration. Especially for the young ladies, your makeup, which you didn't want to spoil with your face mask. I understand. You know, they said, I have 2 daughters. I know. They will fight you because some of this makeup costs as much as 15,000, 10,000, and it's so beautiful on their faces, and even the hair, they don't want to spoil it. You enjoy yourself today. Tomorrow you will wake up, it's like a dream. It's like a dream. So I am no more going back to Green Spring. That is what it means. and that is reality check. That reality check, I say again, can only materialize if you talk to yourself, regularly have positive self-talks. No matter the situation you may find yourself in, talk positively to yourself. And don't allow anybody, nobody, should take your joy and your happiness from you. Yes, some friends, some colleagues may betray you, but if you wallow in self-pity, you are giving them ownership over your life and your happiness. If you meet such challenges, fine, as a human being, you feel bad, but you move on. That should actually be a motivating factor for you. You didn't think highly of me? Fine, I will show you through my series of successes. I didn't say success, series of successes, which is what I'm seeing on the faces of the people sitting before me. Always, always tell yourself, I can do it. I know I can do it. I know I will do it. There is nothing insurmountable. There is nothing you cannot achieve. Just put your mind to it. Just put your mind to it. Ask yourself, the people that have done it before me, are they not human beings like me? Always have positive self-talks. Talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. And as you are going, one thing that you really have to take very conscious notice of is time. You have to manage your time well. Time management is very, very important. Don't worry, I'll do it later. Procrastination is horrible. You have to manage your time. Time to read, time to go for your lectures, time to do your assignments, time to do the right things, and time to play. Because you must play. If you don't play, if you don't relax, you will break down. You draw up a timetable. The different courses you are going to do. Have timetable, allocate time, and stick to the time. Please, please, I'm begging you, we cannot come here today so happy, smiling, rejoicing, jumping, and it ends here. Will it end here? It should not end here in the name of Jesus. It should not end here at all. It should not end here. And you said amen. I hope you know what amen means. Amen means may it be so. So unconsciously, you have made a commitment before all of us. You have made a commitment that today is the beginning of series of successes that you are going to explore and dawn at us. Your teachers will be so happy hearing all your exploits. The school will be so proud. They'll put it on their website. So the burden is on you. It's not too heavy. It is not too heavy. That is why I say you must always have positive self-talks. You always, no matter what is weighing you down, you shake it off. You sit down. Don't wallow on self-pity. Don't. Because when you wallow on self-pity, you are succumbing to failure. And I don't see any failure before me. There's no failure before me. There's no failure before me. And I'm appealing to you, not just as a professor, but also as a mother. Because your parents had a choice. The school fees they paid there, they could have used it to do something else. Nobody should tell me that because you are their children, they are bound to do it. They are not bound to do it. They have choice. But they chose right. They chose to make sure that you replicate what the aspirations are. You know, in African culture, nobody sees a parent to ask them how much you have in your bank account now. How many houses have you built in the last 1 or 2 years? Have you bought the latest car? No, they don't ask that. The first thing they will ask you, how are your children? And if you're doing well, they'll start reading out. Oh, she's okay, she's doing very well. She does got another scholarship. You know, she got a scholarship to go to that school. She does got another scholarship. They will go on and on and on and on. Because you have made them proud. And I pray you continue to be children that will stand out amongst your peers. I pray that you continue to stand out amongst your peers. I continue to pray for you that nothing should derail you. Nothing should derail you. Today is very special. Today is very, very special. I want you to indulge me for 1 minute. The graduates who was playing, stand up for the champion, because I want to dance with them. Please come and dance with me. And for celebrating with me, you will be all successful. Let us dance. Congratulations, management. Congratulations.